Good evening, hello and welcome. You're with the news today. This is your primetime destination. News, newsmakers, talking points. Monday night, the big question we have tonight for you. Who will lead the opposition front in the making? Is 2024 going to be a battle of alliances? We'll have a SWOT analysis and plenty more ahead on the news today. But first, as always, it's time for the 9 headlines at 9 tonight. The opposition's show of strength in Bengaluru. Leaders from 26 opposition parties attend meet hosted by the Congress. Alliance likely to get a new name and possibly even a common agenda tomorrow. 38 NDA allies to meet in Delhi tomorrow. Chirag Paswan is back with the BJP. JP Nadda hits out at the United Opposition meet, calls it a coalition of the corrupt. Centre tells Supreme Court that Delhi ordinance will be tabled in the monsoon session of Parliament, accuses the Kejriwal government of taking excise scam files illegally, harassing vigilance officers. Kejriwal says the centre is not letting them work. The water level of the Yamuna once again breaches the danger mark. Parts of the national capital remain waterlogged. Delhi government begins restoration work as several locations were flooded. Another Tamil Nadu minister under ED scanner after Senthil Balaji Ponmudi raided in a money laundering case. 70 lakh cash recovered from his house. Stalin cries vendetta. Wrestling Federation Chief Brijbhushan Sharan Singh to appear in a Delhi court tomorrow to answer charges of sexual harassment. Testimonies of wrestlers reveal harassment horror. UP ATS grills a Pakistani national Seema Haider who illegally entered India after falling in love over a mobile game PUBG. ATS investigating 6 mobile phones and documents. Big anti-terror purge in the Jammu and Kashmir administration. 2 J&K government officials, constables sacked for raising funds and logistics for a Pak terror organization. Carlos Alcaraz wins his maiden Wimbledon title as he beats Novak Djokovic in a 5-set thriller. Has tennis finally found a new superstar? But the big story coming in tonight is from Bengaluru, where 26 opposition parties have met at a dinner hosted by the Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah as a prelude to their attempts at opposition unity ahead of the 2024 elections. While that opposition dinner has taken place in Bengaluru, in Delhi, Prime Minister Modi is all set to attend a meeting of NDA allies that will be taking place in the national capital. The big news coming in from Bengaluru was that Sharad Pawar skipped the dinner meet, but then set at rest speculation over his future by saying he will join the opposition meet tomorrow. Mamta Banerjee, who was also expected not to attend the dinner, has finally chosen to attend it, along with other opposition leaders including Uddhav Thackeray. Sonia Gandhi was present at the opposition meeting. The BJP has called its own allies on Tuesday with 38 NDA allies, according to party president JP Nadda, set to join the meeting in Delhi. Let's go across to Rahul Srivastav, who's been tracking that meeting in Bengaluru for us. Rahul, all eyes were on Sharad Pawar and Mamta Banerjee attending that meeting. Mamta has chosen to attend it, Sharad Pawar staying away. Is there a sense that tomorrow's meeting will lead to some kind of a new name and possibly even a common minimum program? Are all these parties willing to set aside their differences and work together? Or is this, as the BJP says, a photo op?
See, Rajdeep, your question is more heavier than I think the meal they have served inside. Because what you're talking about is a giant leap. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it is going to be incremental in character. And since you're, I think dinner diplomacy should never, and reporting on that should not ignore what happened. It was a sumptuous meal, Rajdeep. But interestingly, Rahul Gandhi, Akhilesh, Tejasvi, Omar and others stuck together. Mamta Banerjee stuck together with Kejriwal, Kharge and others. Sonia Gandhi was sitting with Lalu Yadav, Siddaramaiah and others, but she went around meeting almost everybody. So if you can imagine that Mamata Banerjee, there was nothing between Mamata Banerjee and the left, and one very strong word which is emerging is that the possibilities of a common minimum program which was being talked about are very low. Primarily because there are so many contradictions, Rajdeep, that political leaders are saying that we can identify common issues that can be raised. So there could well be a committee which will look into that, and a common agenda for governance later. But a common minimum program, very difficult to achieve. Will there be some kind of a convener? There are discussions still on, but I think the incremental attempt from here would be, Rajdeep, to build on it. See, there were Mamata Banerjee, others were reluctant to come to a Congress-ruled state. They have. Congress was not being accommodative. It has accommodated and become inclusive to Arvind Kejriwal vis-a-vis the Delhi ordinance. These are positive steps, Rajdeep, and this is what is required. But if one expects that a lot can happen, difficult, but
Right.
yes, definitely what they will try tomorrow, Rajdeep, from their meeting is to give certain signals that at least a template for unity remains intact till the next step is taken.
Okay, Rahul Srivastav telling us don't expect too much from that opposition meeting, but a small step forward has been taken once again. As you can see, Mamata Banerjee there with Uddhav Thackeray at that dinner. Mallikarjun Kharge, one of the hosts. The Congress playing a central role, it appears, in those opposition unity efforts, which leads us to raise the big question, because while the opposition was holding its meeting, or is holding its meeting in Bengaluru, the BJP is now preparing to revive the National Democratic Alliance, and that will happen in Delhi tomorrow. Among the new entrants into the BJP will be Chirag Paswan, the leader from Bihar. Clearly it appears that the battle lines for 2024 could well be a Congress-led alliance versus a BJP-led alliance. Take a look at our top story.
Sonia Gandhi makes a rare appearance at a political forum after she left the post of Congress president, with the main architect of the UPA attending the opposition unity meeting in Bengaluru. The Congress led by Mallikarjun Kharge has raised the stakes in the race for 2024. The Trinamool Party, on a high after the Karnataka election victory, is not just taking the lead in stitching together an opposition front, but also showing its intent to lead it.
They want to silence the opposition voice. They are misusing entire agencies like Enforcement Directorate, CBI, to suppress the voice of the opposition.
Nitish Kumar, Mamata Banerjee, Uddhav Thackeray, Akhilesh Yadav, all top opposition faces have reached the IT city. United by their fear of the BJP, but divided by their personal ambitions, the unity project has many roadblocks. Even the Bengaluru meet was under a cloud, with Arvind Kejriwal refusing to play ball unless the Congress publicly announced it will oppose the centre's ordinance to take over services in Delhi. Aam Aadmi Party's decision to attend came Sunday night after it got what it asked for.
We already took decision, not only Delhi ordinance, any attempt to sabotage the federal system of the country, to intervene the state matter by using the governor, we are not going to support. Same way, Delhi ordinance also, we are not going to support, very clear.
जिस प्रकार से इस दिल्ली के काले अध्यादेश पे तमाम पॉलिटिकल पार्टी साथ आई, अरविंद केजरीवाल जी के आह्वान पे इस अध्यादेश को हराने के लिए एक एकजुटता जो नजर आ रही है, ये कोई साधारण डेवलपमेंट नहीं है। ये डेवलपमेंट ये दर्शाती है कि 2024 में मोदी जी वापस नहीं आ रहे, 2024 में भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार वापस नहीं आ रही है।
The agenda for the opposition meet includes setting up a subcommittee for drafting the common minimum program, forming another subcommittee for chalking out the joint program of parties like rallies, conventions and agitations, discussing the process for deciding a seat sharing deal on a state-to-state basis, deliberating on the use of EVMs and suggesting reforms to the Election Commission. suggesting a name for the alliance and setting up a common secretariat for a proposed alliance. The BJP, which is also holding a meet of its allies in Delhi on Tuesday, has played down the prospect of a united opposition.
जहां तक यूपीए का सवाल है और ये जो ऑपोजिशन के अलायंस है, ये भानुमति का कुनबा है और कहीं का ईंट कहीं का रोड़ा, भानुमति ने कुनबा जोड़ा, इस तरीके का ये अलायंस है। न तो इनके पास नेता है, न ही नीयत है, न ही नीति है और न ही फैसला लेने की ताकत है।
Modi versus who? This is what Mission 2024 is boiling down to. The opposition meet in Bengaluru will give some indications to what the answer will be. Bureau Report, India Today.
So let's look now, given the positions being taken by the two alliances, a quick SWOT alliance. I want to give you my SWOT alliance analysis of the two major alliances. First, the challenges for the opposition. A, how to recover in the Hindi heartland where BJP won 90% of the seats in 2019. Number two, can the Congress take on the BJP in direct fights in North and Central India? All these fights, almost all of them, were won by the BJP last time. AAP versus Congress, TMC versus left. Can the opposition think national and not local? Will that at all be possible? Can the opposition prevent more defections in its ranks in key states like Maharashtra? Will they be able to hold on to those numbers with them there? Can the opposition work out a minimum 350 seats, one-on-one fight with BJP? Is that possible? What happens to non-BJP, non-Congress players like Biju Janata Dal, YSRCP, BRS, BSP? They are not part of this. What are the opportunities then for the opposition? Here are the opportunities. Double-digit growth opportunities exist in Maharashtra, Bihar, MP, Karnataka, Bengal. Here they could get 10 MPs more each than they got in 2019. The Congress-AAP tie-up could make a difference in around 25 seats in Punjab, in Delhi, in Goa, in Haryana. 130 seats in South India. BJP is not a player in most of these. Can the opposition capitalize on this? And finally, in states like Haryana, the opposition could bank on local anti-incumbency. And one last point, Dalit, Adivasi, Muslim, OBC social coalition as a counter to Hindutva. Could a Mallikarjun Kharge, for example, be projected as India's first Dalit Prime Minister? Is the opposition ready to look beyond the Gandhis? Is that possible at all? Let's now look at my analysis for the NDA. The challenges for the NDA. How to repeat the success in Northwest India. I call it the Northwest Monsoon. The BJP dominated Northwest India 2014 and 2019, won over 80% of the seats here. Number two, how does the NDA retain dominance in states like Maharashtra and Bihar? Two states where alliances have shifted in recent years is a big challenge. Number three, how does the NDA ensure that the 2024 election is Modi versus who? Can they do that again, make it presidential? Next, how does the NDA fight opposition arithmetic in a large state like Bengal? Assume, for example, that there are seat adjustments between Mamata, the left, and the Congress. How does the NDA grow in South and East India against strong regional parties? Because if you have maxed your seats in North India and you are losing there, how do you gain in other parts of the country? States like Telangana, for example. The opportunities for the NDA. UP, Gujarat and Assam. Between them, about 120 seats are what I call the three potential sweep states, banker states for the NDA. Rely on voters in states like Karnataka to vote differently in Vidhan Sabha and Lok Sabha. It's happened in the past, it could happen again. They could woo smaller parties as they are, Chirag Paswan today, and break restive allies as they did with the NCP in the opposition camp last week. Use emotive issues like Ram Mandir to consolidate core vote. We believe that the Ram Mandir will be inaugurated in January just on the eve of 2024. Make 2024 a leadership contest. As I said earlier, Modi versus who will be a central theme for the NDA. These are some of the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead of the two main alliances. Let me then raise the big questions. You've heard my side, now let's hear from the politicians. 2024, is it a battle of alliances? Is BJP versus Congress going to be the real deciding fight? Those 180 odd seats which are one-on-one. Will the Congress now drive opposition unity? Sonia Gandhi is playing a central role, we are told, in Bengaluru today. Will the opposition accept the Congress's leadership? And has the BJP put all its eggs in Mr. Modi's basket? These are some of the questions I'll raise. Syed Zafar Islam is the BJP's spokesperson, former MP. Salman Soz is Congress's spokesperson. Clyde Crasto is NCP spokesperson. Krishank Mane is BRS, KCR's party. They are away from all these alliance bids at the moment. Priyanka Kakkar is AAP spokesperson. Appreciate all of you joining us. To you, Salman Soz first. Is the Congress now convinced that they have to be at the center of opposition unity to the point that you are willing to compromise with parties like the AAP? You may have differences with them, but you are ready to have them on board. Is this the new Congress mantra? Let's be flexible with the one aim of winning 2024.
Rajdeep, our President Kharge ji has been very clear that the Congress party will do everything possible to make sure that all opposition parties, who are like-minded opposition parties, who want to protect India's secular democracy, who want to fight what has become a totally unaccountable government, an anti-people government. So as far as the Congress party is concerned, whatever we can do to facilitate that, we will do that. And we are, you know, it's not about us being in the driver's seat. It's about us being as one of the pillars of opposition unity. And we are hopeful that more and more people will come together to defeat this government.
No, but you see, why I asked you this question, Mr. Soz, at the outset is because till the other day, I was hearing congressmen, and many of them still do, call the AAP a B team of the BJP. Many of your local, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, every day is accusing Mamta of being anti-democratic. She even used words like, called her fascist, saying she's behind the violence in the panchayat elections. Today, all of you are having dinner. So you fight in the states and you have dinner in Bengaluru. Make sense of that for the viewers.
Well, as far as say AAP is concerned, or the Trinamool Congress, or any other political party out there, we are trying to formulate some sort of a program that appeals to the people of India, so that because the people of India are looking for an alternative. I think there's a lot of anti-incumbency against the Modi government, and people want another formation to come and rescue them from this anti-people government. Now, you talk about differences of opinion. Yes, there are differences of opinion, but we have to overcome those differences because India's asking for something bigger from all of us. Now, as far you know, you talked about our differences with AAP. You also have to think about, say, for example, the latest entrance into this coalition of compulsion that Mr. Modi is putting together. O.P. Rajbar, isn't he the person who called Prime Minister Modi the biggest liar in India? That's what Rajbar ji, who just joined the NDA today. What about Devendra Fadnavis talking about Ajit Pawar and saying when he goes to jail, he's going to be Chucky, piecing and piecing and piecing. Maybe now they'll be doing piecing together.
No, so this is...
Wait.
So this is right, this is competitive opportunism. This is competitive opportunism then.
No, I just think that this coalition of cronies, this coalition of compulsion is going to crumble. These 38 parties that are coming together, they are coming together because this compulsion, because because the opposition has set the narrative, and Mr. Modi is reacting. Okay. You know, this is one of those rare times when the BJP is no longer able to set the agenda. We are setting the agenda. They're following. Now you'll see this compulsion, this coalition of cronies, which has, there's this rampant corruption and cronyism in this country. We're going to dismantle this. Okay. And this opposition unity that you see today is going to prevail, I think, in the end.
Okay. You know, we are talking of coalition of cronies versus coalition of the corrupt. That seems to be the language being used. Quick response from you, Zafar Islam, to what you just heard from the Congress party. Your leadership is calling them a coalition of the corrupt out to protect family Raj. They are saying you are a coalition of cronies out to protect the Modi-Shah combined.
Well, Rajdeep, I heard him, I heard many of his leaders, but when you pose a question, Modi versus who in 2024, the answer comes from the people of this great country. None. None is the answer. Because they know, and I thank the people, and we all, our party leaders, thank the people of our country that they have a lot of confidence in Honorable Prime Minister. They have confidence in our party, they have confidence in NDA, they have confidence in our leadership and the way we have served them in last 9 years. So their confidence have been always reposed in our governance model, and something which we have demonstrated that yes, there is a government who works for the betterment of the country and people of this great country. Now there is a coalition. Everyone is aspiring to become something or the other. They have no common minimum program because the only the agenda they have, how to become Prime Minister. Every leader is becoming together either to run away from the ED, CBI and all these agencies because they are corrupt and they do not want to be investigated, so they are looking for an opportunity to, all the corrupt people should come together, form a union and to pose a threat to the Honorable Prime Minister or the NDA. But
sir,
people understand.
Sir, with due regard, since with due regard, since you've used the word corruption 3 times, you have done this a week after you've tied up with Mr. Ajit Pawar, who only till 2 weeks ago you were saying was the epitome of corruption. So I mean, can you now take the moral high ground anymore on corruption? These seem to be 2 coalitions of opportunists.
Absolutely.
Suddenly Chirag Paswan, with whom you had a fight during the Bihar election, is being accommodated.
Let me respond. See, there are 2 things. One is that the alliance partner who have left us, we never wanted them to leave. We followed the coalition dharma and we have followed all along. Should they decide to come back, we have always welcomed them because we are pursuing an ideology, and our ideology is to work our motherland and to ensure the betterment of our people. This is the 2 basic ideology we have, and there is a meeting of minds with all the people, those who have left and come back. We are welcoming them, yes, because there is a meeting of minds, because they also want to serve the people. As far as the people who have your calling them corrupt,
come
all
on,
I can
come
say
on,
that none of them. No, let me just complete. Let me just complete.
30 seconds.
Let me just complete. Yeah. Then you can pose this question.
30 seconds.
Those people, they are targeting now. They are part of them. As long as they were part of them, they were perfectly fine. Had they been really corrupt, they would have fired them. But now they just have moved to another party, or they have formed a separate party, or joined another alliance. They become untouchable for them. But let me tell you, these agencies will work independently. They are working independently. They are pursuing case independently based on evidence. There is no interference.
Okay.
It is the law of the land which will decide who is corrupt, who is not. Anybody who is convicted will be untouchable for us.
So there are 5 guests. You made your point. Let quick response from Salman Soz, and then I'm going to the other 3 guests. Quick response.
I just want Rajdeep to say to. I just want to say to Rajdeep.
Sir, please do not intervene, Mr. Islam.
Zafar Bhai, anytime you're saying that the opposition is uniting,
please put down Zafar Islam's voice. Yeah, go ahead.
So that there is no investigation of opposition leaders. That's what you're saying, that we are doing this because we don't want investigations. My friend, the entire country knows that if you do not want an investigation, then you go and join the BJP. That is what Mr. Ajit Pawar, that's what you seem to have done with him. That is what you did with the Chief Minister of Assam. As soon as people join the BJP, there are no more investigations.
Okay, Salman Soz, we've heard this narrative of you all claiming that the BJP is a washing machine. We've heard their narrative that just a minute, that your coalition is a coalition trying to protect family Raj. These are the two narratives. Now, I want to understand beyond that what these alliances mean. Priyanka Kakkar, you're in our studio. While I want a simple, straight answer from you. You are tying up with the Congress party. In Gujarat 7 months ago, you were taking on the Congress party. You were saying we will be equidistant from both the Congress and the BJP. Have you made a choice now? Am I to understand Arvind Kejriwal there in Bengaluru for a second meeting? Does that mean that you expect now to have a seat-sharing alliance in Delhi, Punjab and other places with the Congress party? Straight question, straight answer, please.
Rajdeep, I believe that today the muddas are how to save this country and how to save the democracy, how to save the constitution.
From whom?
Anybody who's not living under a rock has seen how the constitution has been trampled upon, whether it is the Delhi ordinance case, whether it was the dismissal of the governor, dismissal of a minister by the TN governor, whether it is the raid on a TN minister today. It's a matter which is pending since 2007. It's an allegation of 2007 that they've gone out to investigate today. So everybody knows that the constitution is constantly trampled upon by this government. That is one thing. What becomes of opposition unity? What becomes of seat sharing? How will it unfold is for all to see.
No, so it's naked self-interest. Because an ordinance has been brought in Delhi, suddenly you realize that the BJP is anti-democratic. Suddenly you realize that BJP is enemy number one. It's only now that you've woken up to this reality.
Listen, Rajdeep ji, we are a political party. It is our right to contest elections, and we will contest that against anybody. And people, the citizens of this great country, are very well aware that there's a difference between state and assembly and Lok Sabha elections. But the question today is not that. Look at what has happened. We've just met, and because we met, the BJP is so rattled that 38 unknown, unrecognized parties come together today, of which the two most popular ones you're talking about is Chirag Paswan, who said, I'll come if you give me 6 seats, and the other one is OP Rajbharji, who says that, who calls PM Modi the biggest liar, and also calls him a sand. Not my words, calls him a sand. Jo tomato char gaya, jo pyaz char gaya, jo aloo char gaya, jo mooli char gaya. His words, not mine. Today, the BJP is in such a bad state that they've gone and allied with these parties, and they're the only two names they can boast.
Before I come to you, Clyde and Krishan Mane, just hold on. Because of what was said, and what she says is not wrong, these were words used by Om Prakash Rajbhar. Quick word from you, Syed Zafar Islam. The allegation will be that this 38 parties you are trying to create is reactive. Because the opposition is coming together, suddenly you are looking around the country, kaun aayega? Northeast ki choti party le lo, kahin se le lo, lekin le lo to sahi.
First NDA meeting since 2014.
That's true. She's not wrong. It is your first meeting. Suddenly the last 5 years, suddenly you remembered the NDA. Is it a sign of desperation or is it a sign of confidence?
Naturally, dhoke baaz.
1 minute, madam. 1 minute now.
No, Rajdeep, it is neither a sign of frustration or confidence. It is a sign of commitment with our alliance partner, our commitment for to our motherland and the people of this great country. That we will do every possible thing to ensure that the people of
so are you saying anyone who joins you is committed to motherland, and those who don't join you are not committed? No, 1 minute. This motherland argument has to stop. Are you saying that those who don't join you are not committed to motherland? Only you have the take on motherland?
You had said a few minutes ago you have said these are see those political parties. Are they working for the people? Are they working for the country? Who they prioritize? None. They prioritize their own family and their own cronies. Nothing beyond that.
Okay.
And there is a party where nobody is supreme. Supreme is our ideology. Ideology is what? The good governance model to ensure the common man on the street is their interest is safeguarded. That is something we have demonstrated in the last 10 years.
That's why can I just stop you now?
Okay, you made your point. Admiration for the Honorable Prime Minister.
Sir, I want to give equal time. Let Clyde Castro has been waiting. Clyde Castro, you have been putting your finger up. It's very interesting you are putting your finger up because Sharad Pawar is not there at the dinner meeting to put his finger up. He's only going there tomorrow. And the biggest shift since your last opposition meeting in Patna and now is the NCP, which seems to have imploded in Maharashtra. So is the NCP now also struggling to sort of make itself relevant? Will the NCP really be relevant when a large section of your party has already gone with the BJP? Well, we'll always be relevant. We are still relevant. That's the reason you're discussing us. The point here is very simple. You know, the BJP spokesperson talks about, you know, the others not be capable or anything. It's one man against everybody else. The point here is very simple. If it's one man against everybody else, then why doesn't BJP take up the challenge and fight the forthcoming general election in 2024 alone? Why is it suddenly regrouping again and bringing the NDA together?
No, but they have every right.
Going ahead in the next election.
No, but what's stopping them? They have every right to fight it as an alliance.
They have the right. No, but they have. So Rajdeep, Sardesai, only they have the right to regroup. The others don't have the right to regroup. That's what you're trying to say?
No.
So the opposition is coming together. They are coming to it. They are calling themselves invincible. That's what I'm trying to say. Also, the fact is, it's the sign of fear. The BJP, if you look around the country, the south, up the north, northeast, lot of places they are losing out. Just in the central part of India, you see they've got some places. Fine, but the times to come, things can change. So it's not that, the opposition, in a democracy, what is the role of the opposition? The role of the opposition in a democracy is to come together and show the mirror to the ones who are in government. So the BJP wants to rule just once alone. They don't want anybody in the opposition. What's the point? Why are they so afraid? If they are not afraid, then take up the challenge and go and fight the 2024 elections alone. Okay. They are the ones who are saying it. And let me tell you one more thing. This whole thing about, one last 30 seconds. I've been waiting patiently throughout this whole debate. The point here is, just before 2014 elections, right from there, till about a week ago, 10 days ago, they kept calling all the leaders from the NCP, whether it's Ajit Pawar, whether it's, Patil or Dhananjay Munde, anybody, all of them, they were calling, Chhagan Bhujbal, they were calling all of them corrupt. Okay, they were calling them. We did not call them corrupt. They were calling them corrupt. And suddenly when they joined them, lo and behold, they are all right. I mean, all these people, including the people, the MLAs in the...
You made the point,
when they were in the Shiv Sena, they were raising questions on them.
Okay. Just to give our viewers...
The point is that,
if
you join BJP, it's all right. That's what the point is.
Okay, you made the point. I just want to give, Mr. Mane, I'll come to you in a moment, but I just want to give a map of India in terms of how all these parties which are there, this mega opposition meet, when it comes to actually the total number of MLAs that they have, it's about 140 odd MLAs. Their vote share, remember, is also limited to about 34-35%. So it's not between all these parties who are there at this meeting, the total number of MLAs who they account for is about 122. Sorry, 122, sorry, let me add it, 25, 28, 31, 34, 30, 137 is the total number of MLAs, and their vote share comes to about 36%. That's what it shows. 144 seats were won by this mega opposition meet. Total vote share is 36%. Given that, what is that one gap? What about other opposition parties? Krishank Mane, BRS, BJD, YSRCP, TDP, all staying away. Mayawati staying away. Why are you all staying away? Which side are you? Aam Aadmi Party is making it clear now BJP is their main enemy. Who is KCR's main enemy? You're on mute.
Of doubt.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Iota of doubt at all that the NDA has failed the nation. But the Congress should realize that nation means every state including Telangana. You started off saying that is it BJP versus Congress? It is not only BJP versus Congress, because the Congress should understand the meaning of opposition unity. 22nd March 2018, in Hassan of Karnataka, Rahul Gandhi attacked Deve Gowda ji and his party Janata Dal Secular. But on May 18th, 2018, when Congress needed to be in power, Rahul Gandhi ji reportedly apologized to Deve Gowda ji and there was an alliance. Same in Maharashtra, Rahul Gandhi attacked Shiv Sena as the B team, A team of BJP. And what happened? Later on, Rahul Gandhi needed Shiv Sena, they were in power, they were in Mahavikas Aghadi alliance. Now, I'm not just quoting old examples. In this year, 22nd February 2023 in Agartala, Rahul Gandhi ji's statement, Trinamool Congress is a B team of BJP. Same thing, he comes here, attacks KCR ji, calls us as B team of BJP. Why would we entertain both BJP and Congress when we have been defeating both these parties? And why Mr. Rahul Gandhi...
So you will not choose? Are you telling me you are not in a position because Congress is your main opponent in Telangana? You do not want, plus you want to engage with whoever is in center. You will not choose. Am I correct? You will stay equidistant and take your call after the elections of 2024.
Yeah, because we strongly believe that in NDA there is the DNA of Congress leadership also. Because Rahul Gandhi ji doesn't come and attack the NDA or Prime Minister Modi here in Telangana. We are surprised about it. And their PCC president here, when Prime Minister Modi has already begun his election campaign here, this man shifts his base from Telangana and goes to the United States of America and holidays there. And till date, they have not even held a press conference against Modi ji's failure for Telangana and its promises. That itself explains that they do not want to attack.
So you will take your call after the election. You will not stick to any of these alliances. That's the interesting thing. You see, Salman shows, as I read out, the total number of parties may be 26, but the Lok Sabha seats between all of you is only 140. You need 272. Where will these numbers come from? Unless the Congress reaches triple digits, 100 plus, you can't recover. Now, where will the Congress recover? In my opportunities, I have said 4 or 5 states. What are you going to be able to do in those 4 or 5 states to change your politics? You are the Kamzor Kadi.
I think Rajdeep, you're talking about a playbook that is from 2014 and 2019. This is a different time. This is a different election. If you just look at the kinds of issues that we have right now, just some basic issues that confront the people of this country, from inflation to rampant unemployment, especially for the youth, the attack on India's public sector, the extortion of India's poor and middle classes, the extreme tax terrorism that you see in this country. And there is no real strategy for the defining challenges of the 21st century, whether it's climate change, digital disruption, or China. I think the lay of the land is such that as far as the Congress party is concerned, I think people are beginning to understand that Congress is the party of governance. And I think that is why you see so much support for us. I mean, you've seen what happened in Karnataka. I can tell
can you also answer Salman Soz, why is Sonia Gandhi there this time? Is it because you realize that she alone can bring some of these parties together?
Well, as far as Sonia ji is concerned, she's a UPA chairperson. She is she's the leading light of the Congress party. Even though she's not our president, all of us look up to her. So I'm not surprised. And of course, she has deep relationships with senior leaders of the opposition. So I'm not surprised.
But who is your given that? Okay, you're saying
she's going to continue being a key part of our.
But who is your face? The question that will be asked: who is the face? Is it Rahul Gandhi? Is it Mallikarjun Kharge? Is it Mamata Banerjee? Who's the face?
All of this will become clearer, Rajdeep, but I want to tell you just a little bit, because you're a political analyst yourself. Think about, you said, where will you get the seats from? Rajdeep, after Karnataka, after Himachal Pradesh, look at the other states that are going for elections. You have Madhya Pradesh, and you know it, and I know it, that BJP is losing. You have Telangana, they're not going to win. Rajasthan, which seemed like they would win because of this alternate reality that happens in Rajasthan every time, that is no longer clear. Okay, Chhattisgarh, we are winning. Mizoram, they're not going to win. So out of these 5 states, please tell me one state that they're going to definitively win. Okay. Nothing. In Haryana, they're going to lose. So the back, they are, I think, remember Modi ji in parliament saying, "Main ek insaan in sab pe bhari ho gaya." If he's so confident, why does he have to bring in a man who called him the biggest liar of the country? Why does he have to now bring in a young, dentist, as Mr. Modi likes to call them? Why is he dependent on Chirag Paswan now?
Okay.
After all this time?
Let me.
And you're seeing it. You're seeing the
Salman Soz, allow Syed Zafar Islam to quickly respond. Syed Zafar Islam, the BJP says this grouping in Bengaluru is here to protect families. What have you gone and done? You've taken Chirag Paswan on your side. Is Chirag Paswan a dynast? Or the moment he joined the BJP, even dynasty is forgotten. Corruption chodo, dynasty chodo, BJP mein aa jao, washing machine ban jao.
See, Rajdeep, you can't see the correct perspective. Correct perspective is that they believe in ideology. And ideology, as I said, is the governance model. Governance model is what? To serve the people and serve the country. That is the differentiating factor between us and the rest. Because they are only protecting their family, while we are all, whoever join us, they also have to understand what is the ideology they are joining, an ideology and the governance model that they have to work for the people and for the country. Secondly, these people are talking about these elections. They must go and see wherever they have won, whether it's Himachal or whether it's Karnataka. Modi ji is the most popular leader when it comes to 2024 general election. None of them, I said none of them from the opposition parties would have liked to or would want to have a direct fight with Modi ji, because they all know that they will be absolutely mismatched.
So you're saying, okay, you made that point. You're saying, you've answered my question. You've answered my question that while this is an NDA alliance, all its eggs in a way are in Modi's basket. Clyde Castro, respond to that. You see, because that is the BJP's narrative now for 2024. We've got Modi, tumhare paas kya hai?
No, but that's exactly what my point is. You know, if they think that they can win in the name of just one individual, then they fight the elections as an individual party. Why are they regrouping together? What is the fear? Why are they bringing 36 parties together and then going ahead and talk about the other parties that are coming together in Bengaluru? If they're so invincible, fight the elections alone. They keep talking about other people's corruption while they take the people that they are accusing of corruption. Then they speak about dynasts. They have all the dynasts in their party, starting from Anurag Thakur, the Scindias. In Maharashtra, you have the Ranes, the Mundes, the Fadnavises. All the dynasts are there in their party, and they are protecting those dynasts also. They are protecting those families. So, by saying that the others are doing so, they are trying to hide what they are doing.
No, but the question,
of the matter is,
my
open challenge to the BJP, if they are so invincible, then they should fight the elections alone, Rajdeep.
Okay.
Simple as that.
Okay, Priyanka Kakkar, this point is going to be made. Modi versus who? You see, Arvind Kejriwal is going there. He also has ambitions that he wants to be Prime Minister one day. What is his, he seems to be there to protect himself. Your ministers are in jail. You've got an ordinance that the BJP government has. This is about self-preservation for you.
If it was self-preservation, we would have gone and joined the BJP. This is about saving the country, one. Secondly, taking it from Mr. Clyde's, taking further. The RSS organizer very recently wrote and said that Mr. Modi's charisma is now dropped, his popularity is dropped, you cannot win on his name alone. That is why there are 38 parties that are meeting today. Unknown, innocuous parties meeting today. This is the reason.
What is the word you use for the NDA?
Naturally Dhokebaz alliance.
Naturally Dhokebaz alliance. Okay, one side you've got a naturally Dhokebaz alliance. Other side you've got, according to the BJP, a coalition of the corrupt. Is this what the country is going to have to deal with in 2024? Krishank Mane has already said, "Hum to dono ke saath nahi hai." We've got a BRS alliance on their own. We leave it at that point. We'll have plenty more such discussions. Picture abhi baki hai. I thank all my guests for joining me here on my talking point tonight. The battle of the alliances. You can look at that SWOT analysis that I've done on our YouTube channel. Let's turn to tonight's Get Real India ground report, which comes from the national capital that is still struggling to recover from the mayhem caused due to the swollen Yamuna flood waters. Tonight we bring you the heart-wrenching story of the animals, cows, dogs, others who suffered due to the deluge. Several of them have died, some of them in a cow shelter. Take a look at tonight's Get Real India story.
किसी की हत्या कर डाली हो ऐसा हमें लग रहा है। सरकार से ये चाहता हूँ, हाथ जोड़कर रिक्वेस्ट है, यहाँ पर आ जाए। अगर अभी हिंदू मुस्लिम कहीं हो गया होता तो सारे नेता वहाँ पर होते।
This is swollen Yamuna and this is us fording through the river water to rescue the animals from a cow shelter that has been completely inundated. Let's see how it goes. The blue-colored construction that you see there is a cow shelter located just below a bridge in Delhi. But the floods didn't spare it, and many cows and other animals were left stuck, battling for their lives.
मैम पानी अंदर यहाँ तक है, गायों के यहाँ तक पानी है, छोटे जितने भी गाय के बच्चे थे और जितने भी डॉग थे उनको हम निकाल लाए हैं। अब थोड़ा बड़ा गोवंश रह गया है और इनकी जरूरी नहीं है हम इतनी दूर से इनको पानी में लेके आ रहे हैं कि ये जिंदा ही रह जाएंगे। इतनी खींचातानी में इनकी मौत भी हो सकती है, 1 दिन बाद हो, 2 दिन बाद हो।
काफी गायें जो हैं वो पूरी डूब चुकी हैं, जिनके अंदर पेट में पानी भर चुका है। 3 सांड मैंने अपनी आंखों से देखे हैं जो बुरी तरह से फूल के और तैर रहे हैं उसमें, जो मर चुके हैं।
आज वो कम से कम 30 गाय से ज्यादा गाय मर चुकी हैं और 475 गाय टोटल इसके अंदर हैं।
अंदर स्नेक घूम रहे हैं, सांप घूम रहे हैं गौशाला में, और सांड आपस में लड़ रहे हैं। गाय एक दूसरे की तरफ भाग रही है, दौड़ रही है, टक्कर मार रही है। उनमें से गाय को पकड़ के रस्सा मारना और यहाँ तक लेके आना, आप देख लीजिए कि गौरक्षक गुंडे या सेवक है, आज यहाँ पता चल जाएगा। सारी गायों के रस्से बंधे हुए थे, अगर पानी का लेवल और बढ़ जाता तो वो गाय तो वहीं डूब के मर जाती सबकी सब।
However, these Gaurakshaks allege that no one from the government came to the rescue.
ये जमुना में ये गौशाला बना रखी है, 2-3 दिन पहले इनको नोटिस भी मिला होगा, ये गौशाला क्यों नहीं खाली करवाई गई? कोई भी सरकार की तरफ से मदद नहीं है। गौ सेवक लगे हुए हैं, गौरक्षक लगे हुए हैं, बस ये बोट जरूर आई थी, बाकी तो सारी गाय हम वहीं से खोल के और यहाँ तक ला रहे हैं और ट्रीटमेंट भी करा रहे हैं।
कैसे ला रहे हैं?
बोट के साथ 2-2 गाय बांध कर ला रहे हैं। इलाज चल रहा है, हमारे डॉक्टर भी हमारे पर्सनल आए हुए हैं। यहाँ तक तो दिल्ली सरकार ने वेटनरी डॉक्टर भी यहाँ पर अभी तक नहीं भेजे हैं।
But as for the government, they're doing all they can.
देखिए, उसके लिए एनडीआरएफ की भी मदद दी जा रही है और डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन को भी कहा गया है कि हर संभव मदद दी जाए और जानवरों को निकाल के सेफ जगहों पे लाया जाए।
This man you see here is the owner of the cow shelter. He has been taking care of the shelter for the past 13 years. When asked why the shelter was constructed near a flood-prone area, he claimed to have never witnessed such a calamity here before.
गौशाला है ना, वहाँ काफी अच्छी हाइट करवा रखी है। मतलब आप पुल के लेवल में अगर आप जाओगे तो पुल का लेवल है पूरा, वो उस हिसाब से भराव करा के तो वहाँ गौशाला बनाई गई। जीवन में पहली बार ऐसा अनुभव हुआ, आपको बताएं। और बाढ़ तो हर साल आई, पर वो पानी बार जमुना में आशीर्वाद देके चली गई।
Meanwhile, animal rescue scenes across Delhi NCR were also witnessed. In Noida also, many dog shelters were found inundated with rainwater.
On 13th July at about 4:30, the flood water started entering our shelter. We started evacuating dogs. We have about 356 dogs, and we managed to evacuate almost all of them so far, after rescue operations of about 30-35 hours. We have lost our entire solar panels, our entire refrigerator, our appliances, our oxygen concentrator, our treatment tables, all our medicines, food, everything. We have lost like everything. Thankfully our dogs are safe. We've had a few casualties as well because of drowning.
We hope that the water that has crippled the lives of not just humans but also of our communities, animals and wildlife recedes and normalcy prevails soon.
You stay well, stay safe. Good night, Shubhratri. Jai Hind, Namaskar.